but don't worry about it. Wow. Man, oh man, you have it. You have the gift to play the rock. And I want to tell you that is a great gift. You have the technique here. Everything was clear. I mean, I would, change this or that. It doesn't matter right now. We'll talk about it in a second. But you have the idiom, and most of all, as I said, the piano is an instrument of inflection. That's why it overtook the harpsichord. That's why it's that's why it's the king of instruments. It's not the organ, but the piano with its great literature. You can play soft, you can play loud, you can play crescendo, you can play diminuendo. That's the secret of its success, even though it's classified as a percussive instrument because it's really just a harp. But, it's an instrument that has the only total completion of all things. Higher than an orchestra, lower than anything can be, any orchestra. In other words, it's an amazing artifact. And you should all know that it's now a little bit over 300 years old. Now that's a tremendous amount. There's almost 90% of all inventions of the Industrial Revolution are obsolete from any of that time, except the piano itself, the greatest daughter of the Industrial Revolution, without a doubt. And certainly of all of the many inventions in the world, it is the most pacific, meaning the most peaceful. It doesn't go to war, it just goes to war with you. And it will give you back nothing unless you give it a lot. But it's one of the great, great things in the world, because I don't think anything can compare with the feeling you had by playing this exquisite work. Rachmaninoff composed these pieces in 1913 at his estate Ivanovka, and there were many, many little rivers on his estate, you know. It was quite wonderful. He loved nature deeply, and here is, of course, the bubbling up of, he was sitting, no doubt, listening as he would be alone, listening to the bubbling of the water, and you could hear it. And then comes this tremendous Russian song. It's like a folk song, but of course it's not, it's totally his. It's all Rachmaninoff in every way. And then just the way he makes the piano sound is enough to just, you know, say, oh my God, am I lucky to be able to be doing this? What you're doing, and this is something important. We're living in an age, you know, of such tremendous materialism that everything is, what can I buy, you know, what toys can I have, what computers next, what, you know, all of this is junk. You may like them, you may have fun with them, you may, you know, Google yourself, who knows? But it's still junk. This is the artifact that really speaks to you, and it will give you back so much. It will not become an addiction. It will not become something that, you know, you will do anything but cherish. You'll love it all your life. But you're not allowed to let the society get in the way. You're not allowed to have everyone say, oh, well, you can't make enough money. Oh, you'll be tired teaching. Well, we're all tired all the time. It doesn't matter what. You're tired when you do the computer 9 hours a day, you know. Many people have lost many relationships because of that internet, because it's an addiction. This is an addiction? No. This is an achievement. So what you did was incredible. I want you to play it now. You know what you're going to do? It's going to even be better. You know why? You're going to even be more relaxed. You're not afraid, because there is nothing harder to do than sit up. You know, you're alone. You're naked. You may think that you have clothes on, but you don't. You are naked. Pretend you're playing with your tie only, you see? And when you have that feeling that you're naked, then the audience won't get to you as much, you see? Now, it means to play as well as you did it, a real super mastery. To be able to play it in public. It's one thing to play at home. It's one thing to play in public. I'm giving you many, many areas of thought in this class, but I think that, you know, you may remember them here and there. What more can anyone do? The teaching in this school is fantastic, and everyone is, at a very young age, highly musical and musicianly. Now, like here, I would not, you know, here I would, this is such a great effect here, you know, the start soft and make the staccatos go all the way up to here, and then, you know, the big open fifth, make it, you know, loud. And then that's the beginning and the end of the piece. We have, Rachmaninoff always loves long, long codas where he dissolves things in every piece of his small pieces. These were all written in a 9-week period. They were gestating for many years since his Opus 23, but they were 9 weeks. All of these 12 pieces came out. Imagine the extraordinary concentration he had. And this, of course, I call the last year in human civilization. It's 1 year before World War I, which would eradicate Europe and would make Russia into, well, 1 million died alone in the famine there during the war, as well as the 1917 revolution. History is also important to see where they were. In only a few years, he would be leaving Russia. He's the first artist that would know, no matter what. He was a very wealthy man with an estate, with tremendous amounts of material, so to speak, paintings and scores and so forth on his estate. And he knew that he could not live in a system like that, and he was the first to go. And he left with no more than $500 in suitcases, pretending that he would come back with his family, because he had an offer to play 10 concerts in Scandinavia, he said, I'll do it. Imagine, because he loved Russia as no one ever did. In fact, someone once asked him, how come you've never smiled again? I can never smile unless I'm in Russia. Of course, that's a lie. Of course, he smiled. I asked Horowitz, did he ever smile? Oh, he smiled with me. I bring up the idea of Horowitz because we're doing Rachmaninoff, and he was a great lover of Rachmaninoff. But Mrs. Horowitz said to me that she, as a man, as a person, she never met a more aristocratic human being than Rachmaninoff. Never, she said. She had met a lot of people. All right, so, I would just, you missed a few notes here and there, and then, take this and bring it up with the crescendo. Teacher said, don't rush here, you did a bit, things like that. Rushing is the great horror of public playing. Every time I play, I do the 4-minute mile. I run. Okay, do it again. They want to hear it. They want to hear it.